everybody, what's going on? Eric here, and I want to talk a little bit about the Ibanez SR400QM. QM is for quilted maple top, which is basically a veneer, so don't get your hopes up on that. Now, you heard the sound that was coming from it when I was playing the Nobody's Fool by Cinderella. And I gotta tell you, finding tabs for that was a little bit of a bitch. Even that Rocksmith video game is not correct as far as playing it. Right? The Rocksmith video game adds too many notes to it, and basically what they do is each note is mostly ringing out throughout the whole song. So it's kind of a bitch, and just trying to play it by ear as much as I could instead of looking at the tabs. Like I said, don't trust tabs. But I want to go over the bass a little bit. It's kind of a nice bass. It's not very expensive. You could pick up one used anywhere between maybe $150 to $250, depending on who's selling it and what condition it is. Or you could pick up one from anywhere from like $299 to like $499. And I've seen them, I mean, I don't think they're a $499 guitar, but some people do. Especially that, these have been around for a little while now. Now, this one here is the SDGR, which is basically a sound gear by Ibanez. The scale length on this one here is a 34 scale length. And let's kind of like take a look at it in a little bit more of its features. Alright, so let's check this thing out. Now, this is the SDGR sound gear, Ibanez 400QM. Now, QM stands for quilted maple top, so you can kind of see the quilted maple top. I like the way they did this with this because the body and the headstock match. Kind of makes the guitar look a little bit ritzier. Now, the one thing I would do with this bass, if you buy it new or used, is kind of tighten up the 3 screws on the truss rod cover. This is a trap door. Sometimes it might be a little bit loose on the low to mid notes that you would play on it. You might get a little bit of a vibration from that. So basically I tightened it up a little bit, gone. Now, the hardware on this thing is basically what they call a Cosmo Black, which, black chrome. That's what I'd call it. The neck on this thing is a 5-piece maple and rosewood neck. And you got your Ibanez basic standard tuners, not a big deal. Now, this thing here has a rosewood fretboard on it. The frets on this thing, I want to say they're more of a medium fret than a large. At least that's what they feel like. The nut on this thing, what the hell do they call it? A graphite? I don't think it's a graphite nut that's on here. I really think that it is a plastic nut that's on here. I had to adjust the action height at the first fret, and when I was cutting into it, it felt more like plastic. So it kind of looks like a graphite, but it is not. Now, the body on this is a mahogany body with a quilted maple veneer on it, which is, it's kind of nice. It's got a nice look to it. The bass is a little bit dirty right now because I've been using it. Now, the bridge on this thing is what they call a B20 bridge. It's kind of nice as far as how it works and shit. Now, if you can look underneath here, you have one set screw. Let me see if I can focus it a little bit better. You have one set screw on the top of each saddle. On the bottom of it, there's a plate, and that set screw pushes on that plate, and it kind of hinges a little bit, and it makes the saddles kind of come up evenly, so they're not cocked on one side because of the screw only being on one side of it to make the adjustment. Another nice thing is you can see here, to replace the strings, basically loosen your strings up, pull them back a little bit off to the side, and they lift right out of its seat. And then you have your intonation bolt on each saddle. Pretty nice. Very easy to adjust your action height if you want to. And by the way, the action height on this bass here at the 12th fret is a 16th on the high side and 5/64 on the low side. So it works out pretty good. It's very comfortable to play. I've got a 12 thousandths radius or relief on the neck, so it kind of feels like it's pretty straight. You got no noise as far as fret buzz on there. I could probably drop down the action height at the first fret a little bit more, but I'm being a bass, especially with how big the neck is and temperature change and humidity change and stuff like that. I don't want it to be buzzing at the first fret. Now, this thing has the CAP EXF-N2 neck and bridge pickups on there. Now, these are not an active pickup. The reason why this thing takes a battery is because it's got an active equalizer inside. It's got a 3-band equalizer that is fully adjustable for highs, mids, and lows. Now, they do have a notch on the knob so you can kind of see whereabouts your settings are. Now, I kind of recommend for this bass not to turn them up too much. If any, don't even bother turning them up at all. I got the low side turned up just a little bit, and I've got the mid basically all the way down. No, it's center. Sorry, that's center. And then I got the high side turned up a little bit past center. So basically, I've got the bass is about 3/4 of the way up. Mids are center. And then treble is basically turned up very little past the middle part of it. If you give it any more bass or turn up the mids or turn up the highs too much on this thing, you'll notice the difference a lot. Now, the volume control is basically just a master volume. This knob here, instead of having a 3-way switch, they give you the option to fade from your bridge to your neck pickup, which is kind of cool because if you're going to cut it completely out, you go over towards the bridge, and now you only have the bridge pickup. Cut it completely out to the neck pickup, and that's all you got as a neck pickup. But if you center it, there's kind of a little notch where you can feel it clicks into. Now you got both pickups. But say you're playing something and you kind of want to have a different type of tone to it. Give it about halfway, so you've got most of the bridge running, but you also have a little bit coming from the neck pickup as well. It does give you a different type of a tone to it, and it sounds pretty cool. It does not sound bad at all. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to play the same song by Cinderella, and I'm going to use the ESP B50 bass, which also has a 3-band. I don't know if it's a 3-band active EQ inside there, but it's got an active equalizer in it as well. And you can compare the two to see what they sound. I'll use the same settings that are on my bass amplifier software, and see how you can compare the two basses together. So that's it, my friends, and you guys take care.